Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I thought it would make it to the summer at least, to the end of the season, without Ange Postecoglou being linked with another Premier League job this season. He must have set the record. He must hold the record for most links with Premier League jobs in a single season for a manager. But there's one more to talk about, one that's picked up a little bit of steam this morning. We're going to talk all about it. Just calm down, and we'll all be level-headed. Welcome back. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated. We're back following Saturday's draw against St Mirren at Celtic Park, and of course this week is a big week. It's the final week of the Premiership campaign. We play Hibs at Easter Road on Wednesday night, our last midweek game of the season, and then we finish off the campaign with that game on Saturday, title day, celebrations all round as we lift the trophy. I'm looking forward to a wee celebration in the Merchant City, you say. I hope the weather stays nice. But, of course, Celtic need to answer back. We need to shut up some doubters, and we need to get fans back on the side of just sheer jubilance rather than doubt. A lot of people losing the rag over our last few performances, but I'm sure that we'll end the season in style, and I'm sure come Saturday when we're lifting that Premiership trophy high above our heads around Celtic Park, no one will really be caring and nobody will be crying as much, but we have to get our heads down. We need to be better than what we have been, and we'll talk a little bit about that going in towards the end of today's video. But to start the video, we're going to talk about the manager. We're going to talk about Ange Postecoglou because he's been linked once again with a Premier League job that's free this summer. We're going to our old friend Fabrizio Romano. He's back. It's been a while since we've heard from Fabrizio, but he's here and he's mentioning Celtic once again this morning, not in a positive way. I wish he wasn't talking about Celtic this morning, but he is. And this morning he broke that Tottenham Hotspur are looking at Ange Postecoglou. He is one of the shortlisted managers to take up that vacant role which Antonio Conte left back in March. They're still looking for a manager, and Ange Postecoglou is one of the names that is being considered, apparently, not to my surprise. So before we get into what Fabrizio said, and before we all start rubbishing it or getting worried about it, one thing I want to get off my chest and say straight away is, doesn't surprise me. Why wouldn't he be a considered option? Why wouldn't Tottenham look at Ange? I don't want them to. I'm not trying to encourage it here. But what I'm saying is, top teams should be looking at Ange Postecoglou as a serious candidate for jobs. He's came to Celtic, he's transformed the club from head to toe, and he's brought, unrivaled success. And that's kind of what Tottenham need at the minute. So Ange should be a name that they're looking at on paper. Don't want them to. But it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So it's not one of these ones I'm like, what a rubbish. I'd imagine his name will be on a list somewhere. How serious will it get? How far down that list will they get? We don't know. And that's the worrying part. But let's have a look at what Fabrizio has to say. So he tweeted this morning that negotiations between Tottenham and Julian Nagelsmann have not resumed at this stage. No changes. He'd only consider the job with a supportive sporting director. Arne Slot has the concrete option being discussed internally, while Luis Enrique, Amorim and Postecoglou remain on Daniel Levy's list. Now, a few names that we'll run through in a moment there you might not recognise, but the one that we do recognise, we certainly recognise right at the end, is Postecoglou remaining on the list of Tottenham's own owner, Daniel Levy. Once again, not surprised. Is it going to get to the point where Ange might be asked the question? Now, of course, Tottenham have been talking about Julian Nagelsmann as the next manager for quite a while now. He was the first name suggested when Antonio Conte left the club. It doesn't look as though that's happening at this moment in time without a sporting director. I think as Celtic fans, the one thing we can hope for is that Tottenham appoint a sporting director, because I think Nagelsmann is the no-brainer option for them. I think that's the one the fans would like. It's the one that the club would like. And I think it's just one that would work, considering, he's a young manager, had that big job at Bayern Munich, a lot of potential, good football. He is someone that I think Tottenham would really like to have on board. So hurry up, appoint a sporting director, Spurs, get it done, bring in Nagelsmann. You don't want to knock him back, surely. But Ange Postecoglou, a name on the list. The good thing is, he's not the concrete option either. Arne Slot is currently the concrete option being discussed internally, in the words of Fabrizio Romano. If you don't know who Arne Slot is, he's the current Feyenoord manager. He's just won the Eredivisie with Feyenoord this past season. Cracking campaign, looks really good. Of course, they've had some success in Europe as well over the last couple of years, and Tottenham looking at him kind of Ten Hag-like, isn't it? Manchester United took that gamble on bringing in the Eredivisie champion Erik Ten Hag. That's worked out well, so Tottenham might be thinking, well, let's do the same as what Manchester United have done. Once again, do it, Spurs. Feel free. Keep Postecoglou way down that list. Those are the guys you want before him. Now, do I think it will get to the point where Ange is asked the question? No. And I don't want to jinx anything. And I don't want to come back here with egg on my face. But I just don't think that it's time for Ange to leave Celtic. I don't think Ange is interested in leaving at this moment in time. And I just don't think that it's the moment in time where Tottenham take that risk. You know, they'll look at it as a risk. We all know as Celtic fans that Ange could probably walk into any club, be it Scotland, England, Spain, Germany, whatever, and he could walk in and do a job. We all know how good a coach he is and how good a job he's done here at Celtic. But do I think Daniel Levy, Spurs and their fans are ready to take that risk and bring a Celtic manager in? Maybe not quite yet. I think he's got that like one last step to go. You look at the likes of Ten Hag and Slot, who we've spoke about here. They've kind of proved themselves a little bit more in Europe. Maybe these clubs are waiting for Ange to do something like that before they take the big gamble and they ask the question to Postecoglou. I don't look at that as a mark of disrespect on Ange. I think I think he should be the top option for any club, quite bluntly. But when we know how the Premier League works and we know how these systems work and get new managers in, I just don't think that they're maybe ready to take that risk on Ange yet, which is good news for us. You look at the other names that are being mentioned, you know, the Nagelsmanns, the Slots, and even the likes of Luis Enrique. These are guys who are probably going to be asked the question before Ange. So it's just about who knocks it back. And the scary thing is, Spurs is a job that we've seen been knocked back. I think last year when Nuno was appointed, 2 years ago, when Nuno was appointed manager, whenever that was, I think the story at the time was that he was like 7th choice on the list of managers, and they finally found him. So you hope it doesn't get to that point again, because it is. Listen, Tottenham are, by all accounts, and I hope no Tottenham fans are watching here because they won't like me saying it, we know Tottenham's tin pot. We know they're not a big club. It's not a secret. What have they won? Nothing. What are they doing? Nothing. They've got a cracking big stadium. That's about it. Harry Kane's probably off in the summer. It's a big project, and I'm sure Ange would love to get his teeth into it. But, you know, they're tin pot. So, I hope Ange would rather stay at Celtic, to be quite honest. Let's quickly talk on that picture that was taken last week. Someone spotted Ange Postecoglou out with Dermot Desmond, which raised a lot of questions as to what that was about, what it could potentially be. It's not every day you see Dermot Desmond talking to the manager. You don't even see Dermot Desmond that much at Celtic Park nowadays, let alone anything else. So there was questions asked about that kind of captured photo, that secret photo that was taken, and obviously you can't take definites from it. You've got to take people's word, etc, etc. But obviously people are now stirring rumours that it's new contract for Ange, which would be great. So I think if you've seen something in the summer to get Ange tied down to a long-term deal here at Celtic, that'd be fantastic for us. It would shake off any sudden Premier League interest in this summer window anyway. And obviously it gives Celtic a bit of security and Ange a bit of security to go forward and try and build this project even further, take us further in Europe, bring better players in, invest even more, and then Ange is happy here. So hopefully, you know, if that photo does have some truth in it, if it has been taken, if it is a legit thing, and hopefully if there's more to it than that, it is a new contract. But we'll just obviously have to sit and wait. I wouldn't get your hopes up. I'd take everything with a pinch of salt and hold your breath, but that's what I would like to hear amongst the interest of a club like Tottenham, because at the end of the day, they are a Premier League top 6, top 7 club. So, you know, it's a big move. I just hope that the other guys get asked before Ange. So we'll have to wait and see. I really don't think that Ange is leaving anytime soon. So don't let these headlines and these things cause your head to start going away with it, and don't get your knickers in a twist. I think that this is something that we can just get by very easily, and I'm sure Tottenham will find their man, and Ange will be here to try and have a good crack at it again next year, go for another treble, go for European success. I think that's what he wants. He looks very happy here. You've seen that, his celebrations against Rangers in that cup semi-final, and you've seen it around Celtic Park recently as well. You know, he just looks as though he's loving it at the moment. So yeah, but let's talk about Ange, because he's commented about that disappointment of a performance on Saturday and how we move forward from that. Of course, a lot of criticism on Celtic's side of things after that draw with St Mirren. Ange has hit back saying, you know, obviously we didn't work hard enough in that game on Saturday, but he says we're champions. I get it that people are so obsessed. The heavyweight champion of the world doesn't have to win every round, but he holds the belt. We hold the belt. So just kind of, you know, juggling that part that we are the champions right now. And you know, these things happen. You have slips in the road, you have a wee bump here and there. It's just the nature of football. You know, you have to go out there and try and win every game, but you're not going to win every game. And unfortunately the weekend we didn't. We slowed down a little bit, we took our foot off the gas, we allowed St Mirren to walk out of Celtic Park with a point. But we've got a couple of opportunities between now and the end of the season to go out and just remind everyone really who we are and what we can do, and hopefully we can do that as well in the Scottish Cup final and take home a treble, because that should shut everybody up. Everybody that's wanting to, you know, doubt us, and everybody that's wanting to say, oh, this is the start of slipping and blah blah blah, I know that good. Remind them, with treble, you don't do it every year. Celtic have made a habit of doing it a lot, but I mean, we don't do it every year, and when you do it, it's because you're special, it's because you're worthy of it. So remind everybody of that, Ange, come the Scottish Cup final in a few weeks' time. Right, that's us. Let's wrap it up there for today. Tottenham, piss off. Easy. Just like that. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.